ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. We are off here to an exciting 1 versus 1 on Holotnifernmar Winter. On the right hand side here, we shall be watching Sturmtiger Luvnest, bring of tough Stalinist love here, fighting for the Soviet Union and the glory of Comrade Stalin, rushing out for the 210th Rifle Corps, tasked with holding this vital village. Opposing him shall be Panzergrenadier Angreifen, fighting here for Germany, for the Reich. Moving forwards here for the 12th Panzer Division, striking into the Russian lines. Lots of country on the way, by the way. Commanders has shock rifle, guard motor, and shock motor. For Angreifen, it's elite troops, Jägerarmor, and mobile defense. So popping back here to Luvnest, heading south and north, going for a bit of more spread out approach that way, covering more ground initially. Also, sort of that way, he can also let much more quickly find out where is my opponent, where isn't my opponent. In this case, it actually seems to be, in fact, rushing for the northern fuel point. A bit easier to harass due to the building right here as well. So, for example, the Germans, if they don't rush for it, and taking a more methodical approach, the Russians will be already ensconced and ready to make things miserable for the Krauts. A bit about why going up here. And also noting he's actually laying down sandbags to make things further miserable for the Fritzes. Should definitely make an advance there a bit more difficult and tricky. More guns are running up there. So while making the push here, he's already encountering some rather nasty resistance here. Luvnest already dug in and ensconced around the closest fuel point here for him. One grenadier already down, and already here things are quickly turning a bit unpleasant for him. No call to actually take up here, hold up some persistence to take it back, but there's likely more infantry here from Luvnest ready to strike back. So already here things are quickly getting a bit derailed for Angreifen early on. Points are being secured southwards. More guys are arriving, so we are seeing a grenadier heavy start here from Angreifen, and these guys in fact need to get out of there pretty schnell. They are down to, well, a sliver of health, and most of the men are already dead. It looks like he will be able to salvage the entire unit. He's cut off the fuel there, but only for a brief moment. Southern force here. It might seem an encounter here. In fact, it could be that Angreifen could then secure the southern fuel at the very least and deny it to the forces of Stalinism. More guns arriving here. Points they held up, and again now we see a much stronger position with conscripts and sandbags, and a building there occupied as well by conscripts down south. Though the pioneers are well on their combat engineers with the might of their schmeisses and sends the Russians running. Haha. Meanwhile, conscripts versus grenadiers. The grenadiers winning out here at the longer range, although some of them do wish they had cover. A few good shots there, and half the unit is dropped dead. The rest break. The rest? I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. But break and run for it. Meanwhile, engagement down here quickly once again is, and in this case, Angreifen quickly realizes what needs to be done and quickly retreats, not willing to waste men or time on such an engagement that is clearly not in his favour. So good centre of unit preservation there. And we noting more grenadiers arriving here. More grenadiers. Immer mehr Grenadiere. No support weapons so far, so a pretty infantry heavy start here for the Germans. Not even, say, a mortar, for example, to deal with these ensconced Russians. Troops reinforcing, and there goes southern fuel being secured. We do see some engagement down here, and we do see what looks like a minefield going up to protect, though he's actually doing it on the route, not directly on the point. In fact, a huge field, in fact, laid out around here. Interesting. Flamethrowers being handed out here to some of Luvnest combat engineers. Medics up there, and do see also upgrades have been researched here. Molotovs. Fuel down there secured. Overall, though, things are stalling a bit here for Angreifen territorially. He's sort of getting back, but overall, he is struggling a bit here with what Luvnest is being. Oh, never mind, the unit there. Flamethrower tank burst open. Board Dimitri regretted being the one that yelled, "I want to carry the flamethrower." Having always had a fondness for fire and pyromaniac antics, in the end, it would be his undoing. Still, we are noting here that Angreifen's forces are heavily wounded. These guys need to pull back for reinforcements again. They are not in a good condition. In fact, they're the opposite of a good condition. Replacement using white, and they will likely get equipped with minesweepers sort of to deal with what's down here, since he's probably realised there's a bloody huge minefield there, comrades. Looks like, though, in the meanwhile, Angreifen switches things up. He's not going to deal so much with the north. He's going here for the cut-off point, having done some damage here to the forces of Luvnest. No minesweepers, interestingly enough. Still a bit risky to sort of keep sending in units that heavily depleted. And another pioneer unit here arrives. Apparently the previous ones were lost. Angreifen very much pushing his grenadiers to the outmost of their limits. Even as a common cold could kill him. There we go. In fact, a Russian bullet did it. And there we go. Angreifen breaks. His force expent almost. Well, more or less expent. I mean, beyond that, it would be dead. In fact, we could see one unit go down here. Territorially, he is going back again. The overarching movement here of Angreifen not really fully supported, and so running into a few issues. And so far, Luvnest has been able to make good use of buildings and otherwise cover there, sort of changing the battlefield more to his advantage. Overall, making things a lot more painful. And we could see Gunners going down, maybe. Jürgen went down. Only Günther remains. Run, Günther, run! Whoops. Did not intend to bring up the tactical map there. That was a bit unfortunate. But there we go. Angreifen is relentless. We do see a flamethrower here equipped. No further upgrades, no further anything, in fact, from him. But his iron will and belief in final victory. There you go. Flamethrower pushes forward into the building. Pioneers are already hit, heavily damaged, low on health. They are burning a bit, those Russian hounds. But there you go. Molotovs go through the window. In fact, at the exit. Pioneers escape up through the other side, but they might get cut down there. No, 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 no! Good lord. Damn close there. I mean, he's gone for shock motor here. Shock motor, but so far, interesting also to note is, he's not actually calling in any shock troops. You'd usually expect that, in particular in the situation here, a squad of shock troops could actually maybe turn things around. Oh dear, tried to enter the building there through the Molotov, perhaps not the wisest. But oh well. Luvnest's other forces are getting depleted. He could call in the shock troops again to sort of dam things up, but so far he seems less interested in acting a support company. In fact, he could move straight on right now. In fact, for a... Yes, indeed, a mech tank battalion command. He's been able to hold both fuel points for quite a while. It's already here at 7 minutes. He can build that, and he could even, in theory, soon after that, call in the T-70s. Right now, the pressure is very much upon the shoulders here of Angreifen. Things are looking a bit grim. Mine there as well, wiping out half a unit. Fritz and Franz are dead. Like to make a company up there. Armoured vehicle detection, not really a useful ability, I suppose, so, but it is there, it is there. No sign of a commander yet, though, from Angreifen. Considering the sort of losses and current CPs, he could go for mobile defense, for example, and call in some Ostrom to sort of quickly buff up the lines. He could also go for elite troops, get some, maybe some Gewehr 43s, or at least possess some stun grenades. And they still need to pull back. Angreifen once more. Going that extra mile. Russians still cut down. We do see the Lucky Megas company up. A half-track, a scout cut. All Panzer guns go right now. Work wonders here. And there you go. Half the unit gone again. Outnumbered here by Luvnest's veteran conscripts and less veteran conscripts. Admittedly. And again, no. Angreifen just keeps pushing ahead. They have the units not really of full strength at all. And it could end up very quickly turning up reform. In fact, we see here pack 40. Angreifen realizing again, fuel has been against them for quite a bit of while. And there we go, in fact, it is happening. A T-70 has been rushed here at the 9-minute mark here. A sign here of the utter dominance that Luvnest so far have been able to inflict. In fact, we saw a unit get wiped out on the field, though, controlling both fuel points quite solidly. And again, this one being quite difficult for sort of Angreifen to get back without having to expend a lot of effort. So in that regard, things are a bit ugly. Short on infantry, and I fear the Pioneers might also soon go down here. Maxim following up here, so a light machine gun and a T-70 light tank arrive at the same time. Things are about to get unpleasant here. Rather unpleasant. And there got another heavy sandbag position up here. Oh, the fascists have wired off our cover. Well, we'll make our own. And deny them theirs with a Molotov. There we go, good job there. Men quickly running into trouble. Damage suffered. Faces and fingers burnt. Ooh, Blizzard though. Oh, no, not a pound, not a pound. He flips the eagle eye. Took him out. Shot there through the back. Pack 40 used to tech terrain again. We can see the sort of issues that are plaguing Angreifen, forcing him to sort of extend his units into situations where he leaves the rest exposed then to a T-70 Russian. Now, of course, note here, Luvnest, of course, probably all expecting back 40s, quickly shifting around. Also, nice minefield here, but the T-70 doesn't care about minefields. The Russian infantry following up on the T-70 apparently does. They get close to getting wiped out. Oh no, he tried to Panzerfaust. So another unit wiped out there. Still no commander yet. With the infantry loss he's suffered right now, Ostrom could be a quick way again of sort of replenishing the losses, sort of getting something to get the field. Also, counter tactics would allow him to quickly grab back some territory. So, rather feel like that might be an idea. And again, note here, further and further sandbag positions being raised up here by Luvnest. Fortifying the land. Mines. Oh, demo charge as well. Cheeky. Making use, by the way, of shock motors. Conscript repairs this to repair the T-70. Good job. Conscripts here active barricading themselves from the house, but they've been covered here by a grenadier squad with a light machine gun. That could prove problematic, unless, of course, the T-70 arrives in time to save the day. MD-42 there finally arrived. Took Angreifen a bit of time before I call that in. And there you go, T-70 arrives here to strike down the grenadiers. And another unit wiped out. Heavy losses for the Germans. Heavy losses. Several units annihilated. Then this, well, a series of cataclysmic battles so far. Pack 40 trying to interact. That's not really where it does well, though. Pioneers, they're almost wiped out as well. Things are just going awfully here for Angreifen. But there we go. We are seeing now mobile defense. A Puma heavy armored car has been called to the front here to try and turn things over. There's some against Ostrom, and otherwise counter-attack tactics could do a lot, sort of turn things around here as well in terms of territorial control. Certainly give him some swift bodies on the field, albeit not the best and well trained. But there you go, cover here for the maximum trouble. Puma moving forward, pack lasting as well. Sandbag collapse. And now the maximum is being hung down here by the Puma Schwerer Panzerspielwagen. 50mm gun, same as later models of the Panzer III, by the way. Was a heavy armored car based on a 234, which was the second heavy armored car designed with the Germans. The previous one was a 231, more or less the same, except with a slightly different trend, probably a bit more armor and some other changes there. Sort of largely. 231 was also based on a civilian design. 234 was not, so some slight details there. Also, fun fact, the driver could actually also drive backwards through a second seat driver position there, so a little fun detail there about the 234. But T-70 is striking down rapidly. Puma might want to cover the flanks here and certainly try to ambush the T-70, but now we got field guns arriving here. Of course, Luvnest reacting swiftly to the armoured car threat, and also now Angreifen finally reacting with a mortar of his own. So it's taking a bit of a while here.
Yes?
T-70 about to strike south. Puma might be ready to help. And there you go. And I imagine the field gun might transfer support here in case of a Puma counterattack. A note here, Luvnest does not pursue again. He knows of the Puma, so he knows he can only just get off a few shots before there's time before the Puma then arrives down, sort of does horrible things. MD-42 moving northwards while the Pioneers then strike down from the south. Nice little assault there, but the MD-42 is very much in a bad position. Another engagement down here, maximum forward, saving heavy losses there. Puma doing mechanical moving forward, pack 40 being rushed off. Lots of action here on several sides. There you go. Pioneers rush off the conscripts. Not a lot of fuel still going out. We're missing here already a ton of fuel for Luvnest. He's really sort of enjoying a strong early game and sort of really doing a lot with it. In fact, you could easily get another T-34 then, sort of add further pressure here upon Angreifen. Right now, though, the Puma is in need of repairs. Its engine has been damaged by a good anti-tank grenade, giving Luvnest T-70 more freedom on the battlefield. There you go, Osttruppen. Pardon me, really suggest them. And there you go, catching it. Luvnest was a bit too slow there. There we go, T-70 kaputt. Panzer Abwehr. Kanone. Hat destroyed it. And so we got Osttruppen running, 1 veteran G2 unit and a, well, less veteran. No leichtes Maschinengewehr handed out to these Hilfswillige. Kein leichtes Maschinengewehren, just rifles.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
They're pulling back. Still no sign, for example, of counter-attack tactics being used again. It could help swiftly seize territory. And there we go, looks like a tank has arrived here. A bit of a more sturdy tank for the Soviet forces. Repair the Puma maybe, stop it up. All light machine guns here for Angreifen's infantry, so an increase in their fancy versus the conscripts. And down south, the Grenadiers are swiftly countered by T-34-76. With a slow advance here through the centre by Luvnest's main force here, field gun infantry, but the mortars doing what they can to slow it down and cause some grief and harm. Engineers unnoticed in the north there again. We see a broad approach here. Basically, Luvnest trying to sort of use his superior numbers, not to sort of overwhelm in one point, but basically overwhelm across the field, basically ensuring he can surround him. So nice use there of his greater numbers so far. Pack 40 moving in, might be able to get that T-34. Targets the weak point.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Conscripts there close to getting knocked out. He still hasn't probably repaired that Puma. Scheiße. Otherwise that could have helped. That could have helped. He could call in another Puma right now if he wanted, or he could consider taking up and aiming for something a bit more armoured. The options are there. But at least he's actually got a fuel point now. Took him long enough.
Enemy is taking our territory.
And here the combat engineers run into a bit of trouble there with 2 Osttruppen units. All eager to kill some Russians. We are Russians. Well, you know, it's the other kind of Russian. It's the one that really likes the color red. T-34 striking in there. Puma could try and help a bit there. Flank the T-34, shoot it a bit there and sort of force it back at the very least.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Mortify going down there, southern pressure increasing, Puma moving up here. T-34 has not been repaired by the way, or at least has only been partially repaired. There we go, shots exchanged. There you go, T-34 taking a bit of damage here from the Puma. If he gets closer, he could get, there we go, target weak point, in which case he could try and immobilize the T-34, not only knock it out. In fact, the T-34 is almost destroyed. He needs to be careful, the infantry could easily bar his way, and there we go. Luvnest is not late to the party there, and quickly shorts the Puma, cannot pursue his heavily damaged T-34. Nice reaction there. Further, but we do see some mortar of his own there to arrive and sort of deal with the German mortar, I imagine. He's gone shock mode, and so far he's not going to trap a lot of Soviet players into, which forces just, you know, aim for it. He's in fact getting some armor in between.
Enemy forces are
Applying further pressure, making
territory.
things more difficult for Luvnest. He of course could consider fuel cache if he sort of wants to aim for the ISU sort of quicker. But otherwise, you know, another T-34 might work well. But still, fuel caches would be good. But we are seeing now Angreifen is getting a lot more confident. He's getting down on his feet, the Puma, and the Osttruppen applying him with some good pressure, the MD-42 and the mortar as well. A bit of counter-attack tactics again could allow him to sort of much more swiftly regain the field. Meanwhile, the Osttruppen here strike versus the Communists. MD-42 there. A bit of a risky move. He could also consider actually getting a Panzer IV command tank. That would certainly help versus the infantry, sort of further strike versus Luvnest forces. So that could be a consideration there. But time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation, Angreifen's actually floating a bit of resources here. He could definitely either consider taking up, going for some regular armor now, Panzer Force. We could even sort of try and play for the Panthers, in which case he might want to add another Pack 40 and maybe some Panzer gunners to provide further support. That's one option. Another option is to quickly go for the command tank, apply further pressure here upon Luvnest forces. Of course, the interesting thing is, we know he's gone for... Oh, he's actually using armored... Wow, he's actually using it. But beyond that, I mean, we know what he's gone, but here's the critical thing. He's not revealed his opponent what he's gone for. He's repaired his tanks with conscripts, but as far as I know, Angreifen hasn't seen it. He knows what commanders he has gone for, of course. What he has available there is shock rifle, dart motor, and shock motor. But he doesn't know what's gone for, because Luvnest are not actually used to shock troopers, interestingly enough. And it does give him a slight strategic advantage. So in that regard, there could be a surprise in there for Angreifen soon enough, if he's not careful. But he definitely needs to make some kind of move. Without being in a holding pattern like this is not necessarily going to be the best option. But a command tank right now could strike some fear into the hearts here of Luvnest forces. Another again would be taking up, getting some armor that way. Something a bit more durable with a better gun versus armor would also do well. In fact, he could even then sort of throw in a fuel cache and then further take up for the third phase and maybe get a Panther. That could also work, though it's only a bit risky considering the situation. But it is an option when he has the Puma and some other things that sort of keep things. But again, if he does go for it, he should get a bit more from here. Panzer gun is on a Pack 40, so further support the Puma would work out. Otherwise, you should keep up the pressure, and he should definitely try to catch the T-34 here with the Puma and the Pack 40. Target weak point then from first the Puma, then the Pack 40 follows up with another target weak point. That way they should be able to sort of clear out the T-34-76 without a chance of it getting out of there. For Luvnest, you know, things are beginning to run a bit afoul here. He's running some problems. He's using armoured vehicle detection actually sort of keep a track of where the Puma is on the battlefield, ensuring he does get surprised, but also ensuring he can actually react with the T-34-76 to it. So in that regard, he's playing some reasonably clever games there. And again, it's starting to seem like he might be aiming for this, though again, if he is, and he's beginning to lose contact there with fuel and all that, he should consider some fuel caches to sort of further support that. Otherwise, it might take a bit too long, and again, the chances increase of Angreifen getting something really big and hammering his teeth in. So I mean, if he is going to go for it, using only T-34 what he's right now, he should consider fuel cache or two to further speed up that process. He also needs to sort of focus down one of the fuel points and hold it for a bit longer. It's going to be risky. At least he's got some tanks to sort of further apply pressure and also ensure that Angreifen is going to have an easy time of it. But of course, it's also going to be priority then keeping the T-34 in one piece. Better option would have been, you know, if you had a second T-34 for support, but then that will further push back the RSU. And again, which seems to play for it again. At least he's not just gone directly forward, he's actually gone something in between, so it's not all bad. But again, there's definitely some risk in the war, and this could still go ugly for Luvnest. So again, fuel caches are needed if you want to sort of play it the safest possible. But back to the fight here. Back to the fight. I said, pressing the button.
Neutralizing a sector. The enemy has cut off a sector. We are ready to go, comrades.
Securing the south as well. Knowing enough counter-attack tactics, he really should consider going for it again. It does speed up the process. And now we know that having had a rather rough start, yep, Angreifen is actually now the dominant force on the field, holding most of the map here, having done damage. In fact, damage-wise here, he's actually slightly ahead kill-wise also, but you know, Luvnest is close behind.
Blizzard conditions are imminent.
Mortar firing, Puma bombarding as well there. Flamethrowers closing in, and Veteran D2, in fact, very close to Veteran D3. Bad news for the conscripts. Good news for the German vehicles. Pioneers don't need to go away. Maxim covering the unit here as well. Osttruppen in a bad position here, outmaneuvered. And the T-34 is ready to move out again.
Vehicle detection now available.
Angreifen will continue sort of pressure here. Might want to pull back the mortar though. There we go, attacking to the south here. A quick mortar though. Dashes one part of the southern assault, and there we go. Mortar, a lot of trouble. Angreifen is placed in a very, very bad position. But he does realise it in time as Luvnest tanks round the corner here and open up. Pack 40 opens up, there we go, good hit, Puma should join in. T-34 takes some heavy damage, oh dear, it's trying to make a full turn. Very close. The Puma could get it. The Puma could get it. And now it looks like Chief 84 might go. You all see the field gun sending up to support. Southern Assault, by the way, seems to have been utterly thwarted here by Luvnest Maxim. It's a bit close there for things going rather pear-shaped. But he was able to avert disaster for now. Stormgunners, name D4 is moving out.
We are losing territory. Enemy contact. What are your orders? We have an isolated sector.
Quite interesting. He's not going for the victory point. He's not going for the victory point.
Engineers ready for assignment. The enemy is encroaching on
Going
our
again for the
territory.
cut-off point though. Very firm on that.
Supply lines have been cut.
Again, moves in the ND42 first. Not a lot of support, particularly not anti-tank support to come. And interesting enough, he's not ordering it to only shoot at vehicles. But that Pack 4 definitely needs to be... Oh, he's getting into the shed. Not really good position to cover from. Not towards here anyways. So mortar fire though, bearing down, instantly force the Puma moving in as well. Still floating with the resources, not considered anything. Again, a command tank here could help shadow things, or at least taking up earlier could also have done something. Puma though hitting taking fire there, field gun getting off some good shots, popping smoke, T-54 needs to be careful about shooting that, could we do the Pack 40, and the Pack 40 could shoot off, there we go. T-54 taking him down, it's almost wiped out. Good barrel shot from the field gun.
We have lost our mortar team.
Almost got it. There we go. Chief 84 down. Bit of mistake there by Luvnest. He's getting very close to the ISU though. Very close. Both players flowing out of resources, but there's not really any excuse for Angreifen.
Blizzard is passing.
Except it seems like he's not entirely sure what's going on or what he's meant to do.
Freezing troops dying under your command is an inefficient.
But heavy losses on both sides there. But at least Angreifen still got his vehicles standing. But he needs to quickly turn up pressure. In fact, right now, command tank could do a lot of good. In fact, it could possibly crush Luvnest. I mean, if he were to go for it. And there we go. But again, I think he could have done a lot more earlier in the fight. I mean, he's really had the option for that one for, well, about 5 minutes, if not more. That's not exactly good. That's something that could have crushed him utterly, but again, didn't. Either way, Befehl's Panzer moving out here for the 12th Panzer. Constance there encountering it. The cover might not hold up for long here. Even got the Puma joining in. Securing fuel, but then running off. No fuel caches for him. But again, aiming straight for both fuel points there, while Angreifen is back reorganising his forces. Second field gun sort of boats the defences versus armour and vehicles for the time being until the ISU can arrive.
AT gun is ready for combat.
MG42 sending up there. But already suppressed here by the Maxim.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Vehicles pulling back here. He should consider maybe now getting a smoke screen here in front of it, then just charging in and knocking it out with his hands of form. Engagement they continue, pushing forward. MD42 in a rather bad position. They got a second field gun up. I mean, right here, the stage is set for a good flank by a Panther 4 command tank, although at the same time it could also be set there for the ISU arriving and turning it all into a mess. Field gun though is allowed to react to this. Angreifen a bit too slow there to putting his force into sort of proper formation. Incendiary pitching round up here. But it is covering the right southern flank here. doing what they can here to hold back the Russians, to contain them. I mean, very little map control here. Now everything here basically hinges on the shock effect from the ISU 152. And we could see the country they're wiped out. No, gets away, gets away.
We need to re-establish our supply lines.
Engineers traveling up the north, and a flak panzer. Now I think that's a bit optimistic there. Had he done so earlier, but at 27 minutes into the game, and you're not really getting any sort of serious arm. In fact, most of us got actually sort of, you know, focused towards anti-infantry with the command tank, you know. That's not good. Again, he doesn't know what opponents are going, but he should have known, again, all three doctrines involve some late game armor. He should be expecting something. He should not be getting an Ostwind. So right there, I would describe that as a bit of a strategic mistake there by Angreifen. This late into the game, with only a command tank and a Puma, he should not be getting an Ostwind. If he had rushed for the command there, alright, knock yourself out, but otherwise, not good. Not good. And here, things are about to get ugly. The ISU, the Schwero boy, the beast killer has arrived. Saw a bit of service in the Cold War as well, I believe, in with a few different nations beside the Soviet Union. No fun back there. But ISU blasting its way forwards.
We have 200 points remaining.
MD crew on the run. And he's actually trying to flank there with his flak panzer. I suppose the idea is nice, but a Panzer IV would have been more effective, and mostly to serve as a distraction, which I suppose can also work, but he needs them to be able to move in with a Puma. A second one. Single Puma alongside the command tank is not going to work. There you go, damaged engine. Right now, if you were to get a second Puma attack from here while the other force attack from the centre, there could be a chance of working. In fact, the command tank should be attacked from the north to sort of clear out the field gun. One field gun cleared out. Right now, everything hinges. No, he can't seem to do it. Command tank too heavily damaged already. I'm not entirely sure what Angreifen had planned, but it's clearly not gone the way he imagined.
ISU 152 tanks are now available to wreak havoc on enemy fortifications.
Bad news indeed for Angreifen. He's still got another map, and now he gets a second Puma here. The heavies he's got is for dealing with infantry, the lightest he has is for dealing with armour. A bit of a awkward composition considering he's dealing with an ISU. And it's not all lost here, but it's only going to be tricky, and it's only going to rely a lot on the Puma and the target weak point. Once the outmaneuvers gets behind it, target weak point to the rear, then all of the forces rush in, and they'll have the Panther force and the Ostwind then deal with any field guns to cover the Pumas. But for now, he's actually sending the Pumas to deal with infantry up north on their own. Bit of a risky manoeuvre there. Back to Angreifen. His vehicular pool much larger here than what Luvnest has mustered.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Ostwind being repaired. Back 40 here getting blasted. Nope, none of these actually were by the ISU. A few kills there going off. Field gun covering the north there, of course, probably trying to cover versus an armoured assault there to cover the flank from the ISU. Actually, the south is actually quite open, except some infantry. Again, you know, it's going to come down to a large pincer manoeuvre versus the ISU as quickly as possible here. Some Angreifen question is, can he actually sort of pull it off? And there you go, damage engine on one Puma. Mine went off there. And there you go, veteran 2 for the Puma, increasing accuracy and rate of fire. And as they're close, they're getting wiped out. Careful there, Angreifen. Pumas, both of them heavily damaged, but the field gun needs to pull back, pop smoke. Bad news, need to pull back very far there to get them repaired.
Our opponents are seizing
Moving in the flak panzer and the command tank striking in here. Stopping up in front of the field gun. I'm not entirely sure what Angreifen is thinking here. He remains in front of the field gun there, popping smoke in the end. Damn close there. Not entirely sure what Angreifen is thinking, but it certainly appears to me to be some extremely high-risk tactics for some reason. Not necessarily though high-yield tactics. I mean, just because something is risky does not mean it will actually get you a lot out of it. Always. And there you go, against what they wiped up with the ISU. He might be setting up for a Panther 4. Their field gun creeping forwards. Might try to get those Pumas.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. He's targeting ground, they're trying to shoot it. Being there absorbing the shots.
The territory is out of contact.
He's just blasting madly. He knows they're around here, but he doesn't know quite where. And interesting enough, Angreifen's not doing anything to cover his Pumas. He's not trying to pull them back here.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Even as the shots crawl closer. And there you go, he's sort of been revealed where they are now, at least one of them is. Getting very close, and we've got the ISU moving in as well. Puma hit, pull back, MD4 took it out.
Enemy has killed a machine.
Another hit down the Puma. Needs to pop smoke and get out of there. Puma down. He's not. Oh, chaser. Bad decision there by Angreifen. Very bad decision. Not sure why I insisted on retaining the Pumas up then, using them like tanks. And not sure why I did not pull them back. Yes, the field gun was closely zoning in on them. A catastrophic decision right there for Angreifen, which just cost him his Pumas, which were sort of in essence, considering his current force composition, his best chance of knocking out the ISU, in particular the Vet 22 on the Puma, which could have got behind you and done a lot of damage. Now he's down to a command tank and an Ostrint. And that's definitely going to be struggling, particularly there's still the field gun to deal with as well.
Incoming fire.
So that was a terrible decision. Also looks like fresh Ostrom have been summoned up. Both of them actually quite veteran this time around. Fun to note.
Opponents are seizing a sector.
MU40 they'll tend to Luvnest.
Blizzard imminent.
The Chargers want more turned against Angreifen.
Our lines of supply are disrupted.
Can he turn things around again? Can he execute a series of grand maneuvers? Ostrom in a lot of trouble. Out in the open. There's a Veteran 3 conscripts, and there you go, more shots there from the ISU. Already up there to 11 kills, almost Veteran 21. Pack 40 got off a hit there. Bit of another risky maneuver there by Angreifen. Nothing to cover the Pack 40. And there you go, ISU's beginning to fire away there.
The enemy is attempting to steal our
Oh dear.
sector. Redouble your efforts. We are
And there
down
you go,
to
that Pack 40
200
is
points.
dead.
We have lost a pack gun.
So things are quickly turning against Angreifen here.
Blizzard conditions are now in effect.
Hands for ramming.
Enemy
But will it
forces
be
are
enough
securing
at the
our
current
territory.
juncture? I'm a bit unsure. I'm not too convinced again now. There's a third anti-tank and sort of further bolstering the defensive around the ISU is going to be carrying them. So they're going to need to clear it out. Plus all his forces have taken a lot of punishment. He's at this stage lost a lot to Luvnest. Numerous infantry units and Pumas. So it's definitely going to be very, very tricky for him to sort of get back in the fight, or Luvnest really has to make some massive mistakes. There you go, Ostrom actually plastered them with heavy fire.
Panzer IV is ready for battle.
Cut down retreat. The ISU able to dominate the centre here quite solidly. 19 kills now. Regular Panzer IV out, mortar crew about to freeze to death here.
Winter comes the same time every year, and still you manage to lose men.
Needs to pull them back for reinforcements and a bit of warmth.
The enemy is
In
taking
particular,
our territory.
oh, he's using counterattack tactics. Finally, took him long enough. He's heading up though next to the fire pit, which is gone. They're going to freeze to death.
The enemy has
Another T-34 around here for Luvnest to further support things. That's good. That's good. Not taking any chances. Mortar crew though is about to die here for Angreifen. Same with the gunner squad here. I'm not entirely sure what he's thinking. Something seems to have gone slightly wrong for him.
ready for orders.
That was close.
Attempting to steal our sector.
And the conscripts make a head-on assault here, straight into that strategic point, and they get punished for it here by the flag panzer and the command tank. Command tank reaching veterans in 1. An assault partly launched from here, and here could actually overwhelm this position. The northern, probably a flak panzer, the command tank with blitzkrieg getting behind the field gun, clearing it out, and then the rest of the armor sort of clearing out of the rest. Question is, will he actually do it, or what will he do?
Ostwind standing by.
Since his actions have become somewhat curious as the game progresses.
The Maschinengewehr team is awaiting orders. Blizzard is passing. We must stiffen our resolve.
Victory points are quickly draining down. He's trying to sort of stall that and turn that around. They're moving down to the southern point. He should be moving, making move. There we go, got smoke going down. Nice job there using smoke to cover the advance. Too bad it can't cover the north with just smoke. Lack of infantry is always proving to be quite hurtful. Command tank and also told the veterans on for that as well. Might get the pack 40 here. Are you not reacting to this? Interesting enough. Tank 4 moving in. Oh, looks like they might finally get the pack 40. There we go, but ISU's moving in. Nice hit down the pack 4, almost knocks out. T-34 moves in, coming under fire there. Conscript squad wiped out. Could it be he turned things around? The ISU moving in, nothing to cover against it. No, it's not moving in actually. Trying to shoot there through the terrain. Flak pants out of control, already heavily damaged. Command tank not in a good situation to blitz. And there we go. Command tank down as well. The 12th Panzer getting shredded. We're seeing a Puma now moving in as well. T-34 down, but the Panzer IV could go down, following rapidly after here. Got a field gun coming from the south as well. And this building is just surrounded by smouldering wreckage. The House of Armored Death. Victory points, well, they're actually very close to both sides here. Angreifen is down to 70. Luvnest is actually down to 59. Another Grenadier unit there wiped out. Conscripts there almost annihilated. Another T-34 in the Luvnest, sort of further reinforced line. In fact, you could call in a second one.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Mortar forced away there by a few haggard conscripts. But making a move there for both northern victory points. If we can hold them up for long enough, there might be a chance of turning things against Luvnest. But the question is, will he be able to withstand the assault of the ISU and of course the field guns as they move in? He's actually calling another field gun instead of just say recruiting the Pack 40. An interesting decision. But going for the victory point there as well.
Anti-tank gun is ready for action.
Storm getting gunned down there, and oh, the Puma rushed in only to get a damaged engine. We got field guns advancing up there to deal with the armor. Panzer almost down. Puma wrecked.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
T-34 rushes in to join the fun. Panzer blitzes and gets abandoned. I would say this is the end. There's no hope left there for Angreifen, I think. He's gaining all 3 victory points. Apparently some extra Austrians have been rushed in, and no counter-attack tactics, so he's got tons of munitions for counter-attack tactics, but he's not actually using it. Pioneer unit rushing forwards, blast it apart! Panzer IV out of control, that's recruited there by the Pioneers. And now he uses counter-attack tactics. A bit late there.
Guns have been neutralized.
Looks like a field gun actually wiped out there.
Supply sector under attack. Need the big guns.
So there we go. Luvnest reacting with small forces he's left. He's still got more infantry in the field, thus he can also really better control the map. Plus he's got armor tractor or anything. And now it seems like the remainders here of Angreifen's forces are Osttroppen. And now he's just spamming counter-attack tactics. A bit late here. Pretty much GG in that department. Might as well just speed this up a bit. Nothing really left there. Another Puma is called out, but nothing can do. Armored vehicle detection here from Luvnest. Packman, he got the T-34. Whoa, one hell of a shot there from the Puma. 24 versus 26. He's still fighting there for the victory points, rushing for them with Osttroppen. Counter-attack tactics, but in the end, too little, too late here from Angreifen. Game over there. Very close though, very close here to sort of pulling it through, but again, the use of strategic and tactical mistakes of a certain order rather cost him the fight, as in part it left him sort of undecisive, it left him flowing a lot of resources, whereas Luvnest had a much clearer idea of what he wanted to do, and he actually pulled off, and partly maybe for what could be considered strategic decision, not entirely sure. I mean, if that was the case, great job. If just because he didn't need the other shock tools, it sort of feels a bit more silly. Either way though, it certainly worked. It left Angreifen a lot less sure, but even then he should have been able to figure out, he's seen not a lot then, he should have been expecting some kind of heavy doctrinal assets eventually. And in that regard, the Ostman was a bad move. He should have gone for a Panzer IV, the very least, or a pair of maybe Stoops. But either way, something a bit tougher and more able to deal with armor. And the other side, of course, was the Pumas over here getting knocked out. He could definitely also make more and better use of counter-attack tactics. When he also was actually more dominant in the map, he should definitely consider some mines, but that never quite happened either. So in that regard, he let several chances slip through his fingers, allowing Luvnest to get back in. Luvnest sort of once overwhelmed though, came back much more sure-footed with tanks, and of course the ISU-152 to wreak havoc upon Angreifen forces, attacking quite successfully several times, although it was not of course that easy, and several times though of course Angreifen broke through, but in the end it just wasn't quite enough. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you had some fun. I hope you learned something from it. If you did want to subscribe, tell your friends, share with everyone. If not, you know, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers and thank you all for watching. Bye.